Hi, I just got back from food shopping and I was the only one in the store wearing vinyl gloves and a mask. People were looking at me uncomfortably, but everything I'm hearing is surfaces are holding on to the germs, that if someone coughs, it can be in the air for up to 30 minutes. And that's not coming from the CDC, it's coming from um, doctors abroad who are getting information from the World Health Organization. So what what I'm doing is what I had a guy who I lived with for a little while, and what he did every time he went shopping was he washed everything. So I have um, either I have soap and water, or I have these alcohol prep pads, depending on if it's a dry packaging, a box. I will wipe things down with the alcohol prep pads. I do sometimes wear gloves, but I wear gloves when I think that there's a real problem with what I am touching, um, when there's a lot of germs. But I feel like I'm using soap and water, and I will wash my hands afterwards. So this is the butter, and I will take paper towels and put it on the counter. And let's see if I can bend this down a little bit. It's kind of hard to see, but I have these are frozen broth. I'm trying to stock up on soups and frozen things. I have a lot of eggs. I have about 4 dozen eggs. But the thing about dairy, you can't really, I'm washing it, you can't really hold on to a lot of dairy. So I did get a lot of almond milk. I do eat ice cream because I have a throat issue that is soothed by ice cream. So they did have the gelato on sale that I usually get. This is not staying put here. Yogurts, wash those. What else? So it was funny because I'm walking around with a mask on and gloves on, and the first store I went to, I said to the cashier, I'm not sick, I just don't want to get sick. And she's like, nobody's sick here, which shocked me because I thought, you don't know who you're checking out. You don't know if somebody has something on their hands and then they're touching the products, putting it on the counter, that the counter that she's using to check you out. I bring my own bags. I was going to order some groceries to be delivered, but I didn't know that if they would get exactly what I wanted, and even if I chose it. For example, I have Talenti oak-aged vanilla gelato. It's a certain flavor, certain thickness. It's not too thick. So I thought, oh well, they're just gonna get me the other vanilla because, well, this is vanilla. We'll get you the other vanilla. And actually, it was kind of hard for me to find. It wasn't where it usually is. Have a bag of chicken, which I was really cautious about where I was getting the chicken because I usually get it at a small store that I think they package their own chicken. I get chicken parts that I use just to make soup with, really. So I have a paper towel that I use to turn the faucet on and off with, and I generally will put something on my hand to to open the fridge and the microwave. I'm wiping down my light switches with alcohol prep pads. I'm wiping down my cabinet handles, drawer pulls. Also, I wipe down the faucet frequently with the alcohol prep pads, or I spray it with an alcohol mixture. I have, or I use the sponge and detergent. So now I have this bread in a plastic bag. I will also wipe that down with the sponge and soap, because I don't know who touched it. I mean, I also, I know they wear gloves and stuff at the store, but, if somebody's coughing or sneezing and onto the bread or onto their gloves, how do I know they didn't pick up the bread with germs on it? So I'm getting a little paranoid, I guess people could say. But the way that it's spreading very quickly, in Italy, they say 600 people had it, and within 11 days, 10,000 people had this COVID-19. So, yeah. So I'm trying to be as clean and germ-free as possible. I have raw cane sugar, and I'm washing it with the sponge also. It bothers me that we're not getting information, that people are just, I don't know, I know I look like a real kind of weirdo, but I find that I tend to do things ahead of what other people are going to do, and then, because the week before everybody went crazy over toilet paper, I went out and bought a bunch of toilet paper in case I had to stay in. I also went and bought alcohol prep pads, and they didn't have, I don't use Purell, but they didn't have masks, which was funny. But I got the vinyl gloves. I had some masks, because I always wear a mask on a plane. Sometimes I wear it in the car because whatever's blowing around in my car bothers me. I did read that a British bus driver infected 2 people on the bus. He was infected, and then he infected 2 people on the bus. So I have carrots, organic carrots. I'm just washing the surface of them right now. I will be peeling them and washing them. I'm making soup with this, and leeks and the cauliflower. I washed the cover of the cauliflower. Where's my pepper? I had a pepper. Oh, I don't see it here. Oh boy. I don't know what happened to my pepper. I can't make soup without pepper. Without a pepper. I bet she forgot to put it in here because we were talking. Oh boy, now I gotta go get a serrano pepper. Yeah, I always use a pepper in my soup because it's, pepper is supposed to be very, in here. No pepper. My pepper's missing. I'm very upset about that. So anyway, this bus driver had the virus. He was 13 to 14 feet away from people. They said, 6 feet is the distance. Well, apparently because they were in this enclosed space with air circulation in the bus, he infected them 14 feet away. So they have determined that if you are in an enclosed environment where there's air conditioning, the air conditioning is blowing the germs around. So if somebody has it and they start coughing or sneezing, it can be blowing around your office, the supermarket, the train, the plane. That's why, they are concerned about people flying and they say that the germs can stay in the air for up to 30 minutes. They do stay on surfaces, but I've seen different amounts of time, from 1 day to 10 days. I don't know what that number is, but that concerns me too. When I go to the supermarket, if somebody's touching the cart, I wipe it off. I wipe my hands off with the Purell, but I had gloves on. I had the vinyl gloves on. I use those to open the door, but now I have to go wipe it off with alcohol pads. And so now I'm finished washing the only thing I have that I'm not washing is this box of tea bags. Now, where did I put my alcohol pads? I put them underneath all my groceries. So yeah, I will take this box and I'll wipe it down with an alcohol prep pad, and I will go around and wipe off the kitchen surfaces with the alcohol prep pad. They do say to wear vinyl gloves or latex gloves while you're cleaning, and then still wash your hands after that. And I usually put like a lotion on. So I take the alcohol prep pads and wipe down my phone. This is what the person I used to live with would do every night, would say your phone's disgusting, and wipe the surface and wipe all the edges and wipe the back, so that these germs weren't getting on my face if I was, in contact with him, or if I were going to touch it and swipe and stuff, and then it's on my fingers. So he constantly was wiping alcohol prep pads on my phone. So now I know what to do. I don't like doing it. I'm not that kind of person where I get like freaky about cleanliness and germs. But this, because they say over 60, and I'm over 60, because they're saying that, I am just really concerned about people being careless because they're being told it's just like the flu. Not that many people are going to die. Well, they don't know that. They haven't been testing a lot of people to know how many people have gotten it and how many people might get it. They just know that it multiplies very quickly from what they've seen in Italy, China, now in Washington. So wash everything, clean everything, keep your hands clean, don't touch your face. Even my glasses I wipe. They don't have Purell, but if you have eyeglass cleaner, look at the bottle, or if it's a wipe, look at the wipes. It says isopropyl alcohol. So it's pretty much the same thing as, I don't know what the percentage is. If it's not 70%, I mean, even in the bottle is 50%. Purell is 60%. Alcohol prep pads are 70% alcohol. So use what you have. If you can't get the best one, at least you have eyeglass cleaner with alcohol. And I get those wet ones, or wipe, what were the ones when I was a kid? Wash and dry. So it's all alcohol. So I use those. There's baby wipes, I use those. And the Purell in the supermarket is right there for the carts. Wipe your hands too, it's Purell. All right, thanks for listening.